Hi. Last time we saw the main elements of waste collection and transport. Today we will see a little bit more in detail the possibility of optimization and how to proceed. Why is waste collection so important, in fact? It's firstly a question of quality of life for the population. People have a strong requirement to live in a clean city and clean streets. One has a better self-respect living in a clean area. Waste collection is a basic service for the population. But it's also a question of health protection and of long-term environmental protection. Waste collection is also a short-term question of protection against natural hazards. The accumulation of waste in canals and water pipes will strongly increase the flows in the city and their effects. In the last lecture, we saw how much waste collection and transport are important in the cost structure of waste management. So, cost optimization is also a key factor to improve the sustainability of the waste management service. The organization of waste collection is also a typical case for introducing good practices in municipal governance. The optimization of waste collection will have two main objectives. First, to improve the quality of the service to the population. Secondly, to reduce the cost. As we saw, it is possible, and yes, we can do it. What we learned from different European cities. Some years ago, we made a comparison of the efficiency of the waste collection system between 17 different middle cities of Europe, from 50,000 to 600,000 inhabitants, using simple criteria. We were very surprised by the results. As you can see, we noted a huge difference in efficiency between different cities, from 1 to 3 or from 1 to 7. In Switzerland also, we found some similar big variations, with collection costs varying from 1 to 10 by inhabitant or by town for between 80 communes. Why are these differences so big between cities having a similar level of services? The cities having the better efficiency had generally, first, accepted to analyze the reality, secondly, accepted to change their habits, thirdly, to make clear choice, and finally, worked on a good organization and supervision of the work. At the opposite, the cities having a low efficiency are usually working as they always did. The city has changed, but the system stays on the same old level. This important variability shows once again the potential of cost reduction that exists in most of cities. So, how to proceed? First of all, it is necessary to collect and analyze data, to know your city, and to analyze the present service as it is, in order to have a clear data on what we're speaking about. After analyzing the data, we have to develop a new strategy. For that, we have to develop a collection strategy in order to reduce the loading time and the time of filling the truck. For that, we will increase the number of containers. They are much more cheaper than trucks. We will introduce bigger and standardized containers. We will introduce also perhaps some bigger containers in strategic places like markets or shopping centers. We will introduce bigger trucks as much as possible, technological trucks with loading system, compacting systems. We will reorganize routes and timetable in order to avoid the peak hours of traffic. And for example, we will collect the city center in the night and the suburbs in the day. As a second point, we want to reduce the distance traveled by the truck. For that, we will optimize the collection routes in order to have all trucks full at 100% at the end of the route and to reduce time and kilometers. We want also to try to limit the waste collection in main streets, to reduce the number of collection points, avoiding a full door-to-door collection system, and defining a maximum distance for the citizen to reach the bin, for example, 100 or 200 meters. After, we will optimize the time of use of the truck. For that, we have to organize the preventive maintenance of the truck and of the bins in order to reduce the frequency and the duration of breakdowns. We have also to operate in 2 or 3 shifts per day, it's a decision, or 6 or 7 days per week, for example. We can also decide to operate out of the city centers in the peak hours, or to create a transfer station for long transports and organize the transport with bigger and cheaper 40-ton trucks. Next point is to improve the management of the service. For that, we have to define a new rule system, defining tasks to the citizens, tasks of the businesses, of the construction company with inert waste, but also of the collection team. Important point is to organize a good supervision of the service, night and day, with an adequate reporting of all data and use of this data to improve the service. We have to organize the training of the staff, the drivers, the workers, and the supervisors. We have to organize a communication campaign in order to inform the population about the new service, about the timetable of the service, the new rules, the tasks of the citizen, the tariffs, etc. Sometimes the service can be made by public company or sometimes by private company, but in any case, the task of introducing planning and supervision are more or less the same. The previous situation was very bad and only part of the city was covered by the service. Introducing a reasonable solution, we can improve the service to 100% of the population and reduce by 40% the cost of the service. Challenge was to organize the service and the supervision and to introduce new bins in sufficient quantities and a good position, and to organize the maintenance of trucks and bins. In this second example, we see how we can work on the timetable of the use of the trucks and the team. In this analysis, we can see what time are used for each activity of the trucks in the day. And with this analysis, we can show where we could try to reduce the unuseful time taken by the trucks in order to increase the collection time of the trucks and make it more efficient. Idea is that trucks should work most of the time of the day and that at the end of the route they are 100% full before to go to the landfill. Together with the routing analysis, the time analysis allowed step by step to reorganize the truck use in order to maximize the collection time for each truck. After analysis of the data of your city, you have to propose a clear strategy and perhaps different scenario and make it approved by the authority. Be clear on private or public services, frequencies, type of containers, maximum distances of the service for the population. It's important to avoid the multiplication of different services, but to focalize on basic service at lower cost as possible. Also, it's important to avoid beautiful solutions or containers that are proposed in the market, but to develop a step-by-step approach in line with the available finances of the commune. It's important also to develop a cost calculation and annual budget so that authorities take decisions in line with the financial possibilities of the municipality. We will see how to make a cost calculation in another course. After, we have to define tariff and the tariff collection system, because it's crucial to define how to collect the money, the financial resources which are necessary to finance the investment and the operation of the service day by day. Warning, don't think it's easy. Buying trucks is only one little step, but more difficult is to organize, make function, supervise the system and of collection and transport. And warning too, change are difficult everywhere. So for change management, you need a strong political support. As a summary, we can see that cost reduction in collection and transport is generally everywhere possible.